forever, and I'm super excited. I went out and I got myself a new Apple iPhone 7 Plus. The reason why I got the 7 Plus was because it has dual lenses. So one's a widescreen, one is a wide angle lens, and the other lens is a telephocal lens, I believe. And I haven't done much testing yet with filming or photography. The first night I had to go to a wedding. I was trying to take really nice videos and I couldn't work out how to change the settings in the camera, and then later on I figured it out by looking up some YouTube videos. My beautiful iPhone 7 Plus, I absolutely love it. I went with the white because I just love the color white. Because I'm a very clumsy klutz, I always drop my phone, always. And so I have to have a case. I don't like wearing cases. I love the feel of phones, but I have to wear a case because I know I'm going to drop it somehow. So for now, I just got myself a clear case. So it's still got some protection, but at least if I drop it, it's not going to break as easily. I haven't had an iPhone since maybe like 4 or 5 years ago. The last iPhone I had was the iPhone 4, and that's it. And I loved it. I had it with me all the time. I loved how solid it felt in your hand. I love how it had glass panels, like the glass front and back. I absolutely loved it. The only thing I didn't like that really turned me off iPhone back then was iTunes. I always had issues with syncing data to my iPhone, always had issues with iTunes itself, trying to convert song formats, like audio file formats, into the proper format for iTunes. And then it kept on getting corrupted for some reason on my system, and then my laptop stopped working, and then I had to keep on uninstalling it and installing it. And then when I bought a new laptop, I tried to install iTunes and it wouldn't install for whatever reason. I spent weeks and weeks on it. And then I just had enough. I was like, that's it. I'm moving to Android. I made like an oath to myself I would never ever go back to iPhone. So I went over to Android. And this was my last phone. This was the Galaxy S7 Edge. Absolutely love it. It's the gold color. I love the camera on these things. These things are fantastic phones. I love it. And yeah, video footage on this is really, really good. On average each year, I tend to change over phones. I go into a new contract and change phones. And for the last, say, 4 years, I've been with Androids. I've had like a Galaxy Note. I've had a Galaxy Note Edge. I've had the Samsung S5, S6 and S7. Then I thought, you know what, I might give the iPhone a try again, see if anything's changed since I've had the iPhone 4. And my goodness, I can't believe how much it's changed. Like, Apple has done a really good job. I'm impressed. There's so much more diversity, I think, and especially with the file formats as well. I've noticed I'm still tinkering around with the iPhone and with iTunes. I'm still learning a little bit more about the features, but so far it's been okay. Mind you, the first night I was trying to set up the iPhone, it took me an hour to reset all my old passwords for my Apple iTunes, like from years ago. That's the only downside. Other than that, it's been pretty good. It's been fantastic. And I have to say, texting on the iPhone Plus, the keyboard has been amazing to type with. Like, I don't have really, really skinny, tiny fingers. So when I type, I want to be able to type properly without having to go back and correct all my little mistakes because I've accidentally, tapped another letter next to it. With this phone, the Samsung, oh my God, I was always getting angry at it because it would either autocorrect to the wrong word and then I'd send it off text and I'd look like an idiot because I've said something that I didn't want to say in text. Oh no, I didn't want to say that. Or I've ended up sending a text that has all these weird spelling variations and different words that I didn't mean to do. It's the stupid keypad. So then when I went over to the iPhone, sent. I haven't had any issues whatsoever. It's been like, done, that's it. I've been using Siri a lot. I've been using as much features as I know about the phone to try and take full advantage. There's still heaps I need to learn about the new iPhones, but hey, I'm getting there. All YouTube videos, I'll keep researching. Then when I got the Apple iPhone, I got myself, ta-da, an Apple Watch. This is serious too. I wanted to get the silver with the white band because I love white. I'll probably get some replacement bands, different colors for when I go to the gym and everything. But this is the perfect companion for your iPhone. If you're thinking about getting an Apple Watch with your iPhone, I would suggest going out and doing it. You will not regret it. The only problem though is that you got to be careful of the screen because it scratches easily. But I've been super careful. You can actually buy protective plastic casings that go over the face, so you know, if you're doing sports or whatever, you're not going to be as worried about scratching it. So that's pretty cool. But this thing has been fantastic. I've been able to count my calories burnt or my kilojoules. I've been able to count my steps. It gives you reminders to breathe as well. If you're working at a desk like me, I work at a desk at work, and I get reminders to stand. It's so fantastic. I've been really enjoying this so much, and there's all different types of settings you can play with the watch. So I'm not gonna delve too much into it because this watch has been out, I think, since last year, I think, so I'm sure you guys already know about it. And there's much better and bigger YouTubers out there that would have had some really nice comprehensive videos about this, so I'll let you go check that out. So I don't know why, but the other day I started thinking about all the old phones I've had over the years, and I remember the very first mobile phone I ever had, and I was like, I think it was 17 or something like that. And I'm 35 now, so I'm getting there. I'm getting pretty old. But the very first phone was a Nokia, and it wasn't a brick. I need to try and find the name of it. What is the name of it? Nokia 6110. That was the phone, my very first mobile phone I had ever had. And when I first got that phone, oh my god, I was like, oh yeah, I got myself a mobile phone. I'm like a cool chick now. Even though I had it on prepaid, so I never had credit for it, but I just love the feeling of being able to take up my mobile phone and go, oh yeah, I get a mobile phone. So funny. And then since then I've had phones like, what other phones have I had? Okay, I've got a little list here. I've had the Ericsson T28, which is like a little flip phone. I absolutely loved it. And the main reason why I loved that phone is because it was a flip phone, and I had an obsession with flip phones back in like the early 2000s. And it had Tetris and Snake. I used to love playing Tetris. The screen is only tiny. I'll put it up in the video here, so like a picture that you can see. It's only a small tiny screen, but you can play Snake and Tetris in it. And I used to play with it all the time. It was fantastic. And I've had the Nokia 1600, Nokia 3310, Nokia 8210, and it was the red one. And that was one of my favorite Nokias because they're so tiny, they were so compact, and they're so smooth. I just absolutely loved it. Then I've had the Nokia 8850. And that was when I was working in sales. I used to love that phone. That was the in trend. That was the in thing back in those days. And my very first smartphone ever was the Nokia N8. That was my first phone, my first smartphone. And the camera was, I believe it was 8 megapixels. And I was like, whoa, hang on there, 8 megapixels, are you kidding me? That's amazing. Now, like, you'd expect 12 megapixels at the very least for a phone. But back then, when smartphones first started coming out, that was like, wow. So I was always taking photos of that non-stop. And have I had any other phones? Yeah, I'm sure I've had other phones before then, but probably around before I got the Nokia N8, I got this little Nokia. It's not a smartphone. It's like, it's ancient, absolutely ancient. It's so tiny. And it's only 5 megapixel. It's only got a 5 megapixel camera. So it's probably the step up from one of those old little Nokia phones. And I don't remember where I got this from. I got this somewhere in Melbourne City on like a prepaid. It was like on a spur of the moment thing. My previous phone had smashed and I walked into like a Vodafone store and I was like, quick, I need to get a phone right now. And this is what they sold me. And I had this phone for like 2 years. I absolutely loved it because it's so tiny. It's so compact that it could fit in my little purse, so I was pretty happy about that. Then I used to use this phone for my work. So this used to be my work phone, the HTC Mobile. This is a smartphone and apparently it had the 3D feature in it. So it gives you an option for 3D there. But I tried using it and it did nothing. Like, it was useless and the keypad was useless. I hated this phone. These are one of the few phones I really hated using, so I stopped using it. And then when I stopped using this phone, I tried to unlock this phone again and start using this one as my work phone. But then because I put in my PIN code too many times, it locked me out and said I had to connect to iTunes in order to unlock it. Could I get into iTunes? No, I couldn't get into iTunes. Could I reinstall iTunes? Nope, I couldn't do that either. I tried to take it to a dealer to try and get them to wipe it and just do a factory reset. They couldn't do that either. So I was stuck with a dead iPhone that I couldn't do anything with. But I am so happy now that I've got this iPhone. I'm really glad I bought this. I have no regrets whatsoever. I haven't dropped it yet, knock on wood. Knock on wood, I haven't dropped it yet. But I'll be really interested to see how good the video footage is going to be. I've downloaded a new app called Filmic Pro. Apparently it takes full control over your phone's camera and you can work it as like a manual camera, so you can set your white balance and your ISO and all that sort of stuff. So I'm gonna try and learn how to use that and see what type of videos I can make. Apparently you can take some really good cinematic shots with this. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if I could actually do that or not. My next step is to try and upgrade my Samsung tablet to the iPad Pro. Oh my god, I would love that so much. Like, you could do so much, and apparently people are saying that the iPad Pro 2017 edition could actually replace your laptop. I don't know about that, but that's for another video. Anyway guys, I just wanted to give you guys a heads up with what's been happening. I'm sorry I haven't been able to upload any videos the last 2 months. I've been really sick with the flu. I've gotten sick twice in the last 2 months with the flu. It's been going around. I live in Melbourne, so it's in the middle of winter, and I just really needed to take the time off to just rest and focus on my recovery because I work full time as well. But I really missed making the videos, so hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video, and I'm sure I'll see you again very soon in the next video. In the meantime, keep smiling, be happy, and I'll talk to you guys soon. See ya!